Julie D'Aubigny la Maupin, the most unhinged woman in history. What if Zorro, Lady Gaga, and a reality TV star had a baby in 1673? Meet Julie D'Aubigny, opera singer, master duelist, serial heartbreaker, and the woman who made the entire French court collectively clutch their pearls. This is the story of La Maupin, a woman so extra that Hollywood would reject her biography for being unrealistic. She burnt down a convent, kissed women at royal balls just to start fights, and once killed a man in a duel before breakfast. And somehow, this all made perfect sense in 17th century France. Julie D'Aubigny was born in 1673 to a family that apparently never heard the phrase "pick a struggle." Her father was the secretary to Louis XIV's Master of Horse, which sounds boring until you realize this meant she grew up around the royal court, where drama was literally a professional requirement. Now, most 17th century girls learned embroidery and how to faint gracefully. Julie learned how to fence. And not just cute lady fencing. We're talking I will absolutely murder you with this pointy stick level fencing. By age 14, she was better with a blade than most grown men, which is impressive, but also concerning. Like, what kind of childhood trauma creates a teenage sword prodigy? We're talking about a girl who probably asked for weaponry for Christmas. Totally normal childhood development. At 16, Julie did what any reasonable teenager would do. She ran away with her fencing instructor. Because nothing says healthy relationship like he taught me how to stab people. But here's where it gets spicy. To avoid scandal, they decided to join a traveling opera company. Because apparently in the 1600s, running away to join the circus was running away to join the opera. And this is where Julie discovered she had pipes. Not just church choir pipes. We're talking make angels weep level vocals. She becomes the lead soprano, because of course she does. This woman collected talents like cards. So now we have a swordmaster who's also an opera star. It's like if Beyoncé could also defeat you in Mortal Kombat. Actually, don't give Beyoncé any ideas. But Julie's real claim to fame. The most elaborate lesbian rescue mission in history. Picture this. Julie falls in love with a merchant's daughter. The girl's parents, demonstrating the kind of homophobia that really aged poorly, lock their daughter in a convent. Most people would write sad poetry. Julie had other plans. She disguised herself as a nun, because apparently gender was just a suggestion to this woman, infiltrated the convent, and convinced the nuns she was having religious visions that required her to share a cell with her girlfriend. The audacity, the commitment to the bit, the sheer chaos energy. But wait, it gets better. When the nuns got suspicious, Julie's exit strategy was to set fire to the convent. And in the confusion, she kidnapped her girlfriend and rode off into the sunset. Let me repeat that. She burned down a convent for love. This woman said, if I can't have her, no one can have this building, and honestly, iconic. Now, you'd think burning down a house of God would be rock bottom. But Julie was just getting started at a royal ball, and we're talking Versailles level fancy here. 3 men started talking trash about her. Gentlemen, let me give you some free advice. Don't talk trash about the woman who literally burned down a convent last Tuesday. Julie's response. At the same time, she challenged all 3 to a duel in a public park at dawn. Because nothing says I'm a refined lady like a triple homicide before breakfast. She shows up, kills one guy immediately, wounds the other 2, and then, and this is my favorite part, she goes to work. At the opera. In 17th century France, being really good at opera was apparently a valid legal defense for murder. You'd think a royal pardon would inspire Julie to, chill out a bit. You would be wrong. She continued her opera career, had affairs with both men and women, because bisexual icon energy, and kept getting into sword fights. At one point, she kissed a woman at another royal ball just to start drama, because apparently Tuesday nights were getting boring. This woman turned making enemies into an art form. She was like if Mean Girls took place in Versailles and everyone had swords. The best part? She was so good at both singing and sword fighting that society just dealt with it. Like, oh, there goes Julie again, seducing wives and stabbing husbands. Well, as long as she hits that high C in Act 2, we'll allow it. Julie D'Aubigny died in 1707 at the age of 33, which honestly feels about right for someone who lived that intensely. She probably burned through 9 lives in 3 decades. But here's the thing. In an era when women were supposed to be seen and not heard, Julie D'Aubigny said, "Hold my wine," and proceeded to be the loudest, most visible person in all of France. She was a master swordsman in a world that said women couldn't fight. A celebrated artist in a world that tried to limit women's voices. Julie D'Aubigny lived her life like she was the main character in everyone else's story, because honestly, she probably was. So the next time someone tells you you're too much, or too dramatic, just remember Julie D'Aubigny. She burned down a convent for love, fought 3 men at once before breakfast, and had the King of France personally excuse her murders, because she was just that talented. If that's not inspirational, I don't know what is. If you enjoyed learning about history's most unhinged woman, smash that subscribe button for more stories of people who refuse to be boring. And let me know in the comments, what's the most dramatic thing you've ever done for love? And please keep it legal.